Assalamu alaikum. Good
Alaikum
afternoon,
salam.
everyone.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Dear Dr. Abdul Wahab Zayed, Secretary General of the Khalifa International Award for Date Palm and Agricultural Innovation, Dr. Hilal Al-Kabi, Member of the Award's Board of Trustees and Head of the Administrative and Financial Committee, distinguished guests from inside and outside the UAE, respected media representatives. We are delighted and honored today to meet you in the second scientific virtual lecture organized by the Khalifa International Award in its second Scientific Knowledge Sharing Program 2021. Before we start, we would like to notify you that all will be muted to maintain the sound quality and clarity. And in case if you have any questions to the lecturer, kindly raise the virtual hand during the question and answer period scheduled after the end of the lecture. We would also like to invite all participants to add their contact details, full name, email, and phone number in the chat below to be able to share with you the presentation directly in the morning. And now we can welcome Dr. Abdul Wahab Zayed, the Award Secretary General, to present the session on the Khalifa Award Report, Bridging Boundaries. Dr. Zayed, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Sarah. It is with great pleasure to be here with you tonight. It is also the second conference of this new year, 2021. Before we start, I would like to share with you the greetings of His Highness Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan, Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence, and he is, as you know, the President of the Board of Trustees of the Khalifa International Award for Date Palm and Agricultural Innovation. I thought I would like to share with you also during this evening one of, I can call it, unique approach to look at the sector of date palm industry, not just in a country or region, but all around the world. So this is why I decided, in collaboration with some colleagues and with the encouragements of others, to embark on this initiative. I will come to list the people who helped me in order to reach such a report. It is not a book. It is a report of state of situation, but keeping in mind always the bio-circular economy and how important the date palm could play in such a new atmosphere that the world is going to. So with your permission, we will first start a small, I think 1 or 2 minutes video that could give you a brief idea about the report. Please go ahead. as you can see, the preface has been made by His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan, and the key word of it was the biocircular economy is the roadmap to enhancing sustainability in the UAE. On the publication of this Khalifa Award report, we wish first to highlight the invaluable efforts of His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak Al-Nahyan, Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Khalifa International Award for Date Palm and Agricultural Innovation. His Excellency has spared no effort in providing the support and advice needed to achieve the wise vision of UAE's leadership by developing the date palm sector regionally and strengthening the UAE's pioneering role in supporting and developing date palm cultivation and date production sectors internationally. These achievements have played a major role in enhancing the food security and achieving sustainable development in the date palm cultivation sector. In the preface statement, His Highness strongly mentioned that the UAE has witnessed accelerated steps toward adopting the biocircular economy model in order to achieve long-term sustainable growth, and which is in line with the global orientation to achieve the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, human values, and improve the quality of life. The UAE's vision and economical strategy is behind the interest of this transformation into biocircular economy, and especially UAE's Vision 2021, Abu Dhabi's Economical Vision 2030, UAE's Future Strategy, Abu Dhabi Environmental Vision, and the UAE Centennial 2071. Next, please. These slides present the editorial statement. It was done in full collaboration with Dr. Sandra Pesik. She's a well-known architect, and she's also has several successful books. I did have the great pleasure to share with her or to finance the printing of Al-Arish book. Can we have the next slide, please? Al-Arish book, Palm Leaf Architecture, it was done 10 years ago, but she also have an excellent work on habitat, you know, the modern constructions taking into account the sustainability and also the technical practices. I would like at this moment to present my thanks to my co-editor, but also to Beautiful Mind in Netherlands for the design of the book, but also there is another team's Louis for the public relations. I would like to thank all contributors, organizations, institutions, scientists, my dear colleagues. I will nominate at later stage a few of them. And also I would like to present my sincere thanks to the great musician, Nasser Shamma, and the piece of music he allowed us to use is called Between the Palms, بين النخيل, Between the Palms. Next slide, please. So as you can see, the book has known the contribution of 46 authors from 21 countries, among them 4 ministers and 13 United Nations and intergovernmental organizations. Next. The contributing international organization in this exercise was the AOAD, the Arab Organization for Agricultural Development, the International Center for Agricultural Research in Dry Area, ICARDA, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, United Nations Human Settlement Program, the Committee on World Food Security, the World View Impact Foundation, the FAO, UNCCD, the UNIDO, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and ICLI. Next, please. I would like here to share with you in regard to the contributors' statements. We have Her Excellency Elizabeth Maruma Mrema. She is the Executive Secretary of the Convention on Biological Diversity. We have also His Excellency Ibrahim Tahoui. He is the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. Dr. Yusuf Nassif, he is Director of the Adaptation Program, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. We have His Excellency Dr. Abdullah Bilhif al-Nuaimi, Minister of Climate Change and Environment here in UAE. Her Excellency Mariam bint Mohammed Saeed Harib al-Mhiri, she is Minister of Food and Water Security. Dr. Tanawat Tensen, he is the Chairperson of the Committee on World Food Security. Antonio Lopez, he is the President of the EU United Arab Emirates Parliamentary Friendship Group. On the next slide, you will see my dear brother, Dr. Hilal Hamid Saeed Al-Ka'bi. You know him as a member of the Board of Trustees of the Khalifa International Award. He is also the Director of Administrative Financial Officer in the award, but also he is Secretary General of the Abu Dhabi Quality and Conformity Council. Her Excellency Habiba Al-Marashi, she is a co-founder and chairperson of the Emirate Environmental Group. The General Faris Khalaf Al-Mazroui is chairman of the Cultural Programs and Heritage Festival Committee, Abu Dhabi. Her Excellency Dr. Maita Shamsi, she is Minister of State, UAE Federal Government. His Excellency Saeed Al-Bahri Salim Al-Amri is Director General Abu Dhabi Agricultural and Food Safety Authority. Muhammad Ali Al-Mansouri, General Manager of Al-Dhafra Region Municipality, and so on and so on. Some international keys, Dr. Abdullah bin Abdullah, Abdullah Wahabi, Professor Ahmed Bouaziz. And next, please. We have other colleagues. I am not going to, in total, they are about 46. As you can see, there is Dr. Rashid Siraj from FAO Regional Office, Dr. Zitouni Wuldada from Headquarters FAO, Dr. Abdullah Wahabi, former FAO representative, international expert, and so on. Next one, please. Sarah, next one, please. Here in this slide, you can see the institutions that have been involved with their valuable contribution. I'm not going to go through all of them. You have, some have been listed, some not. And you can see, for example, there is His Excellency, the Minister of Agriculture of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. There is a lot of other international key players and private sector. Next, please. Again, a continuation of the list of institutions either in United Arab Emirates or at the United Nations level. Next, please. I would like here to mention that the report, I think on the 27th, it was launched in UK, but at the same time, the launching was done in Netherlands and was done, I think, also in Germany, but also most importantly in Abu Dhabi. So it did receive coverage in the region in Arabic, coverage in UK, in Europe in general. Next, please. This is the title. I am proud to say that in collaboration with my co-editor, I insisted on having this title, The Bridging Boundaries. The bridge, as you know, is a connection between one place to another. If you look at the report, we try to make such a report as a bridge between civilizations, between the date palm, bed area and European, American, Australian area. We also tried to put Arabic with Italic cultures to put together. And the main question was, how can bioregional collaboration convert the date palm industry into a successful model of the biocircular economy? That was the key question. We tried to use such question to answer, in different aspects. And this is how we came out with 7 chapters. Next, please. This is chapter 1, but before we can, before we can, excuse me, I am trying to enlarge my picture, but it seems like I'm having a problem, but I apologize for it. So anyway, for the first chapter, introduction, we have the editorial statements, the editors and the key people that were giving the introducing the document, but each one from each side. So we can say that in brief, the date palm ecosystems have been a rich source of nutrition, biodiversity, and culture for millennia. These oasis agrosystems comprise a rich genetic diversity of date palm, in addition to over 100 species of plants, crops, and other organisms. The genetic diversity of date palm has been key to their successful cultivation, as it has created locally adapted varieties of date palm that are resistant to extreme heat, drought, salinity, or floods. Food and water security are increasingly being prioritized in the political agenda in the Arab region, as well as globally. With climate change being a threat multiplier, scarce water resources, and increased aquifer depletion, limited arable areas, and accelerating salinization of soils, high population growth rate, and shifting diet preferences. The Committee on World Food Security has been working to address the global food security implications of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic and is contributing to the coordination of policy guiding to government and others to address its various impact on efforts to reach the relevant Sustainable Development Goals. Next, please. The second chapter on date palm oasis ecosystem services, it has been aborted and analyzed by more than 10 contributors, authors, and it could be summarized, as you see on the slides, that the date palm is one of the oldest cultivated crop plants in the world. Its cultivation spread to the Arabian Peninsula, the Near East, and North Africa. Date palm is also cultivated in other areas outside the MENA region, such as the Southern African area, subcontinent, South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, North and South America, USA, Mexico, and Peru, and Asia in Pakistan, China, India, and recently in Indonesia. As you know, the date palm is the skeleton of the oasis system, and the oasis effect can be summarized as follows. Date palm cultivation would protect more delicate irrigated crops from winds, sandstorms, and the scorching sun. The very high rate of transpiration from date leaves, together with its shading effect, results in significant cooling of the date grove environmental and rising humidity. The oasis effect allows the production of heat-sensitive vegetables and also fruit species during the hot season. Fortifying oasis systems or ecosystems plays an important role in combating desertification, restoring degraded lands and soils, including lands affected by desertification and drought. So this chapter was dealing, as I mentioned, in the UN Decade on Ecosystem, the importance of date palm and the importance of the ecosystem created by these palm species. Next, please. This chapter, Date Palm Cultural Heritage and Urban Integration, is dealing with several aspects. Most of them are the connection. It tried to analyze the connections between the date palm industry in general and the effect of the urbanization. As you know, urbanization is becoming the world's mega trends. By 2018, 55% of the world's population was located in urban centers. These figures is expected to increase to 68% by 2050. Moreover, almost 90% of the urban population growth is taking place in Africa and Asia. I would like here to mention that date palm festivals are crucial to the efforts of safeguarding the legacy of the date palm and improving the livelihood of farmers. We are extremely proud of what the Abu Dhabi International Date Palm Festival, as well as the Liwa in UAE Date Palm Festival, has accomplished over the last 16 years, during which it has grown from a small local competition to a large international celebration of heritage that attracts thousands of visitors from the Arab world and beyond. I would like to mention here, before we go to this, it's okay. Before we go to this, I would like to mention also the importance of other regional festivals. I will cite a few. So far, in collaboration between several ministries in the Republic of Egypt, several international and regional organizations, Khalifa Award did assist in organizing so far 4 international festivals of date in Egypt, assisted and participated for the last almost 10 years on the festival Arfoud Morocco, organized about 3 festivals in the kingdom, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, in the Republic of Sudan, and this year, inshallah, it will add to this caravan of festivals we will have Mauritania. So in this slide, you can see this kind of fluctual movement between the rural, the peri-urban, and the urban system. And we can see the advantages, disadvantages of each one of them. But for the sake of time, we will not get into details, but you can see the rural extreme side and the urban extreme side, and you will get a clear picture on the importance of the oasis ecosystem. Next, please. This biocycle economic potential chapter was developed by 5 contributors, and I was able to summarize and take the key of the 4 of them. We can talk about the global food supply that depends on complex value chain. Global resource use has tripled in the last 50 years. While most of the current global food production and distribution is inherently unsustainable, the COVID-19 pandemic has shown the global industrialized food supply chains are fragile, shown that are fragile environmental, health, and social risk, and the hidden cost of current food system is a challenge that needs to be addressed at global, regional, and international level. Circular economy is often explained as a way to keep resources in circulation much longer, but it is not only about keeping materials in the loop, it's also about renewable energy, about preservation of biodiversity, social inclusiveness, and the new coalitions. So I would like to mention here the great effort done by FAO, which has set out to support countries and regions in the development of sustainable and secular bioeconomy strategy and program. UNIDO also has made great efforts, and other institutions. Next, please. Chapter 5 is talking about the adaptation of new technologies, and here again about 3 contributors did spend a lot of time in selecting the right approaches and the right sentences to bring such component into the biocircular economy. So the reintroduction of these biocircular economy and the new jobs creation in countries that are affected by desertification and land degradation is important because their adverse effects increase the national poverty rate. The Africapolis database explores, visualizes, and also maps the development of urban agglomeration over the past 65 years in 50 African countries, providing unique insight into drivers, dynamics, and impact of urbanization dynamics in Africa. As you all know, land is the key for sustaining life and creating livelihood for humans. The restoration of land is important for achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals because plants grown in soil are the basis for food. They capture and store excess carbon produced by humans and also contribute to our supply of clean water. Next slide, please. The last chapter, 6. The bioregional collaboration. This is a kind of a chapter that tries to put all together all existing and planned initiatives that scientists, technicians from different origins, different countries, different affiliation to international, regional, or local organizations or institutions try to put together. So the outcome we could summarize is the transboundary aspects of adaptation, especially in the Middle East and North Africa region, provide ample opportunities for enhancing the effectiveness of adaptation, assessment, planning, and implementation. The second important point of this chapter was dealing with the importance of bioregional collaboration, and the approach was looking into the regional efforts to promote the agenda of the agricultural sector at large, and date palm in particular, through the work of active partners, individually as well as collectively. Last but not least, it is highly recommended that a coordinating body or a structure is established through the creation of an international consortium made of all regional and international organizations concerned by the sustainable development of the date palm sector and the oasis system in the MENA region. Next, please. As you can see, the last chapter, the conclusions and the recommendations. We took 5 of the SDGs and we tried to look how this report will fit and satisfy and play a role in these SDGs goals. So if we look at the people component, you can have first that ecosystem restoration. That's an important input. The second one is the social aspect. And the third one is the cultural community. For the planet aspect, you have the transboundary adaptation, we have the oasis biodiversity, and we have the food security component. In regard to prosperity, we have the biocircular economy, we have the technology transfer, and we have the financial mechanism. The peace component, you have the commune action, the migration aspect, and the oasis urban integration. The partnership, last but not least, you have the multilateralism, you have the collaboration, and you have the environmental policies. So if you put all this together, you can see that all contributors of this report were able to downstreams all initiatives having in mind the biocircular economy into the SDG, which are very, very important for the future of humanity. Next, please. I would like to share with you here that we did not just put a book or Khalifa Award report as a document, but also we recruited special teams to work on the website. A special website was made. Summary video of the activities and the step during the process of elaboration of the report. All book, the full report could be opened at this link, and also there is also Google Drive link. So by this, I am finished with this presentation. I would like to inform you that an Arabic version will be prepared within the next few months, and also it will be shared through all our colleagues, experts all around the world. I take this opportunity to thank everybody who contributed in this report, including the team of the Khalifa Award, headed by the Honorable Dr. Hilal Al-Kaabi. And also I would like to thank all colleagues from UAE, different ministry, different institutions, and all contributors from the regional and international organization. And of course, as I started this presentation, I would like to again renew our sincere thanks to His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan, who always encouraging and supporting this award. Thanks. I'll be happy to answer questions, if any. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zayed. And now the floor is open for any questions from all the respected participants.
Ms. Sarah, are you following people raising their hands?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. I can see Dr. Ashraf Al-Fard. He already asked for the floor. His hand is up.
Yes.
Dr. Ashraf Al-Fard, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
First of all, assalamu alaikum and good evening, very good evening for everybody. And thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Wahab, for the nice and very informative presentation. And also I'd like to thank the Khalifa Award, which we believe it's a good award. It's the best award from Allah to everybody working in this field in the Arab region and in the whole world. And actually you have done a great presentation with a great effort, with a great achievement, and the great goal has been achieved throughout the year. My question to you, Dr. Abdul Wahab, is of course, every organization is working against certain KPIs or key performance indicators and certain goals to achieve throughout the year. Do you think that COVID-19 crisis has affected your goals? And what are the percentage of downstream out of COVID-19 your achievement? And if that doesn't affect your goals, what did you do in order to get out of this crisis without any problem, as all organizations in the whole world has been affected by COVID-19 very, very harmfully? Thank you so much.
I think we'll go question answer with your permission. Thank you, Dr. Ashraf Al-Fard. Thank you for the nice words you said about the Khalifa Award. I want to mention first that this Khalifa Award belongs to everybody. It belongs to any date palm specialist, technician, scientist, date palm lover, with also the aspect of agricultural innovation. You're right, the key performance indicator, KPIs, is a structure that has been used so far to evaluate an institution or a department, or even to the level of international centers and so on. COVID-19, of course, it will be not fair to say, no, we have not been touched or influenced in one way or the other by the COVID-19. Of course we have been. First, as you know, I'll talk about our experience here with the team of the Khalifa Award. For the first 3 months last year, from just end of February until May, June, we were obliged to work from our home. It was not that easy. Believe me, it was unique. Nobody has the experience. Nobody has the habit. However, I'm going to use the Arabic saying, رُبَّ ضَارَةٍ نَافِعَةٍ. Sometimes I'm translating to some colleagues the Arabic saying, sometimes something could look or have the aspect of being negative, but at the end, it turned out to be a positive. So in our case, let me share with you, and you know it, Dr. Ashraf, and I congratulate you because you've always been present in these conferences. For this year, 2021, this is the second conference, but last year, under severe conditions of the COVID-19, we were able to have, I think, about 15 conferences. You know, it was a unique approach. A lot of people learned from, I won't say all of them, but most of them. And everybody, we have great people attending. So downstream percentage, I cannot put my finger on it, so honestly, but we at the Khalifa Award, with your help, with your encouragements, we are doing our best. You can see even that we are publishing more. We are getting closer to the people using the IT technology. We have developed the Khalifa Award IT library. We are now, with the help of everybody, putting together the international date palm electronic library, and so on and so on. So all these initiatives, I think the COVID-19 was a kind of stimulator for it. So thank you again. Any other question, please? Well, if there is no other questions, I would like to thank all of you. Tfaddal.
Hello. Hello.
I can see that 4 participants raised their hands. Sarah, please.
Dr. Abdullah bin Abdullah, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Just a comment. I would like to thank Dr. Zaid for this one more wonderful initiative. It's for me, I think it's a kind of a new window, wonderful one for the world to see the date palm from another angle. It's very important. I think it's wonderful and excellent. And thank you very much for this initiative.
Before we give the floor to another person, thank you, Dr. Abdullah. You're right, because the aim of this initiative is to bring the date palm industry to the on the table for the international organizations, decision makers. As you know, the most important or difficult aspect of any agricultural development is to find resources and funds. And with this initiative, we would like to generate a new project. Believe me that during Davos' recent meeting, because we did send to several people who attended that meeting, the people start thinking of the Sahel area and to have a regional project there. People are thinking about how could the date palm be used as a food security for so many other countries and so on. So thank you for mentioning your remark. Next, please.
Dr. Mohammed Meidani, I think you have a question for Dr. Zayed. Please go ahead.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the great presentation. But I think actually provide a very good opportunity, I mean, to change this prevailing look at the date palm as part of the past into looking at it as a whole resource for the future, or the circular bioeconomy of the future, not just as a plant that produces fruits, but as a whole resource, including this new vision for like utilizing the different residues and byproducts of the tree. And I think this is a very good chance for the younger generations to unite with these traditions in pride, So thank you so much for this for this report and for your efforts. And thank you for allowing me to comment on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed Maidani. You're right. The approach is we feel and we aim that it will be accepted at the international arena as a new initiative that could assist developing countries and developed countries in order to sit together and try to generate development projects in area where, you know, if you look at the map of the world, and if you look just on MENA region, Middle East, North Africa, or Africa and Middle East, you can see that wherever there is desertification, there is, poverty. Whenever there is a poverty, there is malnutrition and analphabetism. Whenever you have all these, you have terrorism related initiative and so on. So again, it's the responsibility of everybody to put hands together and use the Oasis ecosystem and the biocircular economy aspect and approach to again bring the date palm industry to the level it deserves. Next, please.
Dr. Abdullah Wahabi, the floor is
Yes, thank you. Dear Dr. Zaid, I am really honored and pleased to be among the experts who contribute to this very, very important report. I want to say, I was thinking just to say, what else? As you know, we've been during the last years working on this issue of regional and trying to develop with your leadership during these 3 last years, doing a great effort to gather regional and international organizations to have them working together to go for what we called, or what you called recently, the how do you call it? The consortium for the date palm, including all international organizations. We started with this report prepared for FAO and AOAD, but unfortunately it stopped there, as we have been doing during the last decades, preparing reports, getting out, preparing reports with recommendations, preparing projects, etc. But we didn't get the finalization. Unfortunately, you were working on this at Khalifa Award to have this consortium meeting during the what was planned meeting of the for the Khalifa Award, so this Khalifa Award ceremony, but unfortunately with the COVID, we could not get it. Can we hope that with the effort and with the leadership of Khalifa Award, we can see something like this realized during 2021? Thank you.
Thank you, dear colleague, Dr. Abdullah. I think it should be the opposite. I am proud to see people among this conference who contributed in this report. As I was saying about Khalifa Award, is the same thing for this report. It belongs to everybody. I hear some noises somewhere. So please, okay. So the consortium idea, I know what you are talking about. We worked on it all together, you, myself, Dr. Hilal, and so many other colleagues, Dr. Abdullah bin Abdullah, Dr. Abdul Basit, Al-Akh Anwar Haddad, and the list is open, you know, and it is big. But one important thing is, if you look at this report, you will find in it FAO, you will find UNDP, you will find UNIDO, you will find ICARDA, you will find ICRISA, you will find the Arab Organization for Agricultural Development. You have several ministries from the regions of agriculture, and so on and so on. You have even the Secretariat General of the United Nations. We have three contributors from the UN Secretariat General. It shows first how important your efforts, you specialist scientists, how your efforts were able to bring this date palm to such platform. I think 15, 20 years ago, you agree with me that nobody's talking about it except for a few small area here and there. But now, thanks God, thanks to your work, hard work, contribution, all of you, each one at his or her level is contributing. I can spend hours and hours talking on the contribution of each one of you, honestly, because some people are quiet, they don't talk, but they have contributed a lot. So you're right. I think this is, let's consider it as another solid step to start for the near future to have something that could rise to the level of our ambitions. Thank you. Anybody else?
We have Mr. Anwar Haddad. He has a question for Dr. Zayed. Please go ahead.
Anwar, you are muted.
Okay.
Tfaddal.
Good afternoon or good evening to everybody. Thank you, Dr. Zayed, for this presentation, wonderful presentation. I was awaiting actually to listen and see this presentation after I went through the report. It is, as I told you before, it's very comprehensive and profound report. Expresses the depth in between the relation between human and palm and the environment. And I believe it constituted an important foundation for the next step. And I believe strongly that Khalifa Award, which we actually thanks the efforts which has been done. We are one of the beneficiaries of this association. I believe it's doing a great job in the field of date palm especially, and in agriculture in general. I think that now the platform and the ground is ready for the next step. And I'm seeing this report is the basis for a lot of plans which could be done in the future in this field, and strengthening the interrelation between humans and the environment and this great tree, palm tree. It is a holy tree, and I believe you did a great job. Thanks for the editor also, for all the contributors and to UAE in general. I don't know, my question, how could we use this foundation for the next step, for the next plans for Khalifa Award in the coming future? Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear brother. Thank you for your continuous support, encouragement, and we'll be looking forward to a fruitful collaboration with your association, with your country, and we'll be happy to assist all the time. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you.
Dr. Dahabi, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Abdul, for this nice and very outstanding report. So it came at a time, I think, especially within the full circumstances of this issue of this climate change, because frankly, I believe that the future of the humanity, especially in the desert agriculture and in the marginal areas, is the date palm. And please allow me just to make a suggestion, maybe for this initiative to continue with the different colleagues and scientists to provide a real evidence to what important the date palm. So could be an adaptation strategy or mitigation strategy within the different countries for the threats of the climate change. And especially we are facing now new political arena with the new president from the US that is supporting this COP26, etc., etc. So I think maybe one suggestion is for another initiative, another book, so with the contribution of all the scientists to provide this evidence on the importance of the date palm on the climate change. And thank you and your team for this great work. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Dr. Dahibi would like to thank you also for your continuous encouragements and support. And we'll appreciate receiving a kind of, I won't say guidelines, but kind of skeleton of ideas that you want us to focus on in the near future. And I promise you, we will get back to you. Thank you. I would like, if it's possible, with your permission, dear colleagues, I always try to select some time to, I won't say pay back a person, but to be, how to say, I do owe a lot of my knowledge, my experience, and my modest contribution in the date palm sector. I do owe it to a gentleman who is with us here. He is Dr. Harrison Hughes. He is my advisor, and I look always to him as my professor. He is the one who held my hands 30 years ago or more, and I cherish his friendship. I cherish every single moment I spend under his advisory period of, unfortunately, it was only 2 years, but we kept contact for the last 30 years. So I take off my hat to this person, and I wish him good health, good life, and please pass my best regards to your lovely family. You are muted. You are muted, Dr. Professor Hughes.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind. Yes, I've always appreciated both you and your family and our interactions. And it was great to have had Salah here as well, working with us. So, and it's amazing to see how much you do. Very energetic. I'm afraid I'm at a stage in my life where I'm slowing down a lot. But thanks again. That is very, very nice of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Sarah?
Yes, thank you so much to all honorable participants today. And we're looking forward to meeting you again in our coming sessions. We will be updating you as soon as we announce our coming session, inshallah. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a good evening.
Yes, thank you. But you forgot to mention that such presentation will be forwarded to all honorable attendants.
Sure.
It will be done tomorrow, inshallah. And also you will receive a copy of the book once published, sometimes end of next week, early the week after. But you will receive, I promise you, each one of you. So please send your mail, your full mail address. I know you can have access to the book by links and internet and so on, but we are willing to provide your library with a very unique copy, inshallah. Thank you all.